till now we have seen different tool considerations and how heat generation was happening. Now we'll look at the modes of cutting tool failure. So there is an E over here. Sorry about that, but it doesn't matter. English is not the subject of study over here. So there are three main categories in which the tool failure can happen. First is the plastic deformation, that is excessive plastic deformation can happen and my tool will fail. And the second is the mechanical breakage, that is the tip has so much strain on it, so it can still be in the elastic region, but the tip, if it is like this, it is less going, it is having less chance of getting failed or break off. But if it is a sharp tip, then there are high amount of chances that it can break. So there can be a tip break. And the third is the failure due to gradual wear. So we know that there is a rake surface and there is a cutting surface. So gradual wear, that is also going to lead to failure, but it is a gradual wear, so it is easily visible to us, while the breakage, tip breakage, is a very unknown phenomenon. It is not going to have any indication to the user, the machine, the performer, that the tip is going to break. The failure due to gradual wear is easily visible, and we can work on my tool and reduce the wear also. So let's say this, the dotted line represents my initial tool surface. So that was my initial tool surface, and due to gradual wear, my face has become something like this, which is shown. So I should not draw again. So that is the flank wear which is happening, and this is the face wear. So face wear is the rake surface. And the tungsten carbide, so material consideration to control the plastic deformation. So we can have, we want to reduce the amount of plastic deformation, so we can have a higher strength materials. So to work against the plastic deformation, I can use tungsten carbide tool, high speed steel tool, or ceramic alloy tools. Now to tackle the mechanical breakage or tool tip breakage, I need to respect the tool geometry. So that's what I have explained earlier also, that if I'm going to have very sharp tip, it is easy to break. And if I'm going to have a broad tip, it is less, there are less probable or less chances to tip. So I want to respect the tool geometry and make, I do not want to make it very sharp. So the selection of alpha or the back rake surface angle is very high, is important. And sharpening of pencil is the example. If we go on sharpening the pencil, I know that it will keep on sharpening, and the tip will come out and will keep on sharpening. So we are just going to use away my pencil. And to tackle the gradual wear actually cannot be prevented, but it can we can reduce the rate of wear which is happening. So wear failure we have seen in clutch plates. So we know that the clutch, when we are using clutch to shift the gears, the clutch plate or clutch pedal becomes less responsive. That is because of the gradual wear of the clutch plate. The second is the bearing. So the bearings can have wear failures or gradual failures. So they are not instantaneous failure like brittle failures. And types of wear will be, the first is abrasion, then we have adhesion, that is because of sticking between two different surfaces, and which is occurring in welding also. And the third is diffusion. So diffusion means movement of atoms from tool to work surface, and this is atomic movement from high to low concentration function, and it is a function of temperature and pressure. So there are three types of wears, and we know that wear cannot be prevented completely. We can reduce the rate of wear. So the flank wear growth is a function which is shown over here with a time and different velocities. So V1, V2, V3 are the velocities. V3 is the highest velocity, and this is the flank wear which we are going to study with the velocities, cutting velocity. So this means that if we are going to use high cutting speeds, the flank wear rate is going to be higher, and it is advised to use it in low speed in the initial life. That is, this is a break in wear So where the tool is not used to do machining, so it is unknown to do that process. So if we are going to impart very high force during its early life, it is very high chances that it will break. In the uniform wear section, there are less chances of it being wearing or breaking due to wear, and we can see that the flank wear in the uniform wear region is less. So this is only the vertical length is only the flank wear, so this is very small. And in the rapid, the rate increases so much, so that distance will increase. So this is the change only. So this is the only change. And from the rapid wear growth region, the rate of wear increase is large, that is large. Now it is advised to use in low speed, so as to we can reduce the flank wear. And flank wear means it is easier to measure. Face wear we have not taken into account because it is tough to measure. And we'll stop over here. In the next video we'll look at the Taylor's tool life equation. Thank you.